we have this number of citizens, still the majority, and this number of foreign workers and manpower here. Are there any measures that you are looking at to try to bring more cohesion?
There are two parts to the immigration. One is the transient foreign worker population. They come, they go. 2 years, 4 years, 6 years. They do the jobs and then they go off. There is a second part, they come in as permanent residents or naturalized citizens. Small number. Numbers have been cut quite substantially. We want them to integrate. And we bring them to our schools. We put them in our housing estates, try and integrate them. But you must remember, habits of a lifetime don't change overnight.
Yeah.
So it takes time.
And I want to share with you this, right? Because of a lot of expatriate colleagues of mine. 10 out of 10 of them that have worked here and are now working elsewhere in the world, they have very fond memories of working here. And they are actually our best ambassadors overseas. They always say, thing works here. You know, reliable, safe, nice. All the positive attributes about Singapore.
Yeah.
Minister, would we ever introduce something that, say, I think America has, where before someone takes on citizenship, there's some kind of test which actually maybe a new immigrant can gain access into our society because there will be some knowledge as to what we are about, who we are, and so on?
I think we have to be open to suggestions which will help in integration. We require them to do a number of things, both before and after. We have fairly strict criteria as to who can qualify. As we go further, even though we are tightening it up quite substantially, we have to look at all options.
Singapore has become a global hub. By necessity, we have an open door policy that brings in many people from many parts of the world. But at the same time, there's overcrowding, competition for jobs, different cultures and social habits. What is the way forward?
First of all, we have to accept that we are a small island. And number two, we have been open to trade of the region and the world. We have to accept that there will be foreigners in our midst, and we should not feel threatened by their presence. We have mentioned that a large number of the foreigners in our country are actually transient. They come for a specific period of time, finish their job, and they go. Moving forward, there is a lot more we can gain from this potential. We have already found some very good benefits, and what we can do is to encourage our citizens to work with the bureaucrats, the civil service, the agencies, to better handle the processing of foreign talent, foreign workers through our system.
I have 3 wonderful children, right? My conversation with them is, you will be a future employer of talents from all around the world. I'm entirely confident that in the longer term, longer meaning 10, 15 years out, Singaporeans will come to accept this as a norm. There are some short-term grumblings, disruptions even. There will be opportunities to manage that better. And I'm confident with the civil service that we have and the government that we'll do a very good job. We have to accept that in order to grow, we remain as a capital hub for this part of the world, for Asia. And to do that, you've got to have a platform that will attract a lot of talent. It's just like, to put it simply, going to a hawker store. If they are good, there's bound to be a long queue. If there's bad, forget the queue. Singapore is that very, very good hawker store. You're bound to attract a lot of queues from all around the world. That is a signal that we're doing the right thing. The thing is, as Singaporeans together, we have to find some schemes to benefit Singaporeans in that process. I think the big elephant is really, are the foreigners that are coming here inflating the cost of living for us? Or are they coming here and we are benefiting from them economically that we can afford it? And I think the latter part of it, from everything I've seen, everything I've read, is actually the answer, not the former.
Foreigner issue is a global phenomenon, and in Singapore it's here to stay. I believe that we will be able to find a Singapore solution to the immigration policy, because we can and we always do. Secondly, I think Singaporeans like to complain, and that is perfectly okay because it gets it off our chest. But at the same time that we complain, we must do something to improve the situation.
I think there should be also a shift in attitude. If you look at other big cities like London, New York, they put up with huge number of foreign people there. It's just a change that they have got used to. And I don't think we're quite at that stage there.
Yeah.
I think it needs to be that. When I go for a walk, there's a shift of MRT workers. Who are the workers? They're from the subcontinent and from China. We don't want to do those jobs. You need them because that's how you ride the MRT. So what do you do then? Are you prepared to be a tunneler? Are you also prepared not to have a maid do your own housework? Maybe also Singaporeans might have to adjust or will have to adjust to these changes, just as other cities around the world have. That's perhaps where we should be going.
We know that this is something which we cannot deny, and it's always going to be a bigger problem, and it will grow exponentially. We only have so much land, so it's about changing your perspective to also, I think, do your part to integrate others into your home as a host as well. And if you want to be a citizen, there's certain things you need to learn and know and understand, etc. And it's not about, pointing a finger. It's about saying, let me get to know your culture. These people are coming here, they have their own cultures. When we go across, they might find us really weird as well when we do certain things, right? So, did you pack yet? Really? Seriously? And if that's the case, then it's about saying, let's be gracious. And we are a gracious society in so many ways. And we're a gentle society in many ways as well. The government can do certain things. We also kind of say, hey, government, you must handle everything, but we can play a part as well. I'm saying, I don't want any foreign workers or immigrants, etc., but I still want people to work in my home and take care of my children and my house. So it's about give and take. I think the videos that have come up before this are fantastic ideals and eye-openers as to why our way of thinking can be a bit small actually and narrow. But everybody can play a part. Government is doing their bit as well. We have to also meet them halfway.
I think Singapore has to recognize where we came from. We were once small, we were once immigrants ourselves, and we have stated a position that we will be a global city. We will be a citizen of the world. And so we have to start acting like one, feeling like one, and really having the confidence that we can be one. My last word really is that the generation of human race where it's fight or flight, riots or leave the country, is long gone, right? We have evolutionized ourselves. We have evolved and become a more enlightened civil society. We're Team Singapore, right? And we all have the responsibility to make the change we want to see. Very cheesy, but in our own lives, in our own homes, in our own workplaces. We can operate out of love and not out of fear, and then trust that the government has got our backs and really is doing the best for us.
I would accept all of those viewpoints, and all of those are valid, have been expressed before, and obviously true. And I would put it in terms of head and heart. Our heart has got to be with Singaporeans. We are together. And then the head has got to work out those policies in the way where our hearts are with Singaporeans and our policies benefit Singaporeans. And that has to be communicated effectively. And people have to know that we are in this together for the benefit of Singapore and Singaporeans. Globalization, being an international city, being outward looking, being competitive, is in the interest of all Singaporeans so that we get good jobs, we have a good life. Beyond the short-term issues that we have to look at where we are going, where do we want to go. And it's an exciting journey. It can be very, very, very fulfilling. Rising China, rising India, rising Asia. And look at ASEAN. Today, it's already the 7th largest economy in the world, $2.2 trillion with greater integration. We are the one place with great rule of law, great logistics, great quality of life, excellent services. We can be the New York of ASEAN. Within 30, 40 years, ASEAN could be one of the top 5 economies of the world. And we can be that beating heart. And our people can be fully integrated and have a great future in a much larger economy. That is a vision that we can paint, we should paint, and we must communicate to Singaporeans.
I'd like to thank everybody for being here tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Minister.
Thank you.
Thank you, Minister.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Minister. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Singapore is a small city, and to grow, it requires foreign investments. Mr. Lee Kuan Yew and his colleagues transformed a small island that was kicked out from Malaysia from a third world country to a first world nation. Our success story depended on the determination of those who sunk their roots here and top expertise drawn from all over the world. Singapore is now respected and admired all over the world. Many Singaporeans are enjoying a good life. We have been successful for 50 years, and may that success continue for many years to come. Thank you for being with us, and let's think about it.